Good afternoon. I'm Elton Brewington, and this is Claire Brewington from Brightside Global Trade TV. And while we have engaged in review, and here we are now looking at Mr. Craig Bourne's art from Craig Bourne Galleries. And so we want to take a look at some of his pieces and articulate the uniqueness of them. And so you'll see, and I think we've identified his perception and evaluations for color, which are important. And a little bit about him. Of course, he's a renowned artist and got his own history. And of course, coming from Zumbrota, Minnesota, where he grew up in local family or outside of particular city life and rural life. But I've never been to Minnesota, would love to go. And so his story is interesting and colorful. And we want to take a look at his first piece. And this is a visit to Italy. Now, at this time, I don't think...
Why don't you let Craig
walk us through? I don't think Craig has gone to Italy, but then what a great picture. Share with us a little bit about your art here.
I have had the opportunity to go to different places throughout the world, but not Italy as of to date. But my mother had gone there, and she was very inspired with the beauty and the experience that she had. So I had kind of made mental pictures in my mind of her favorite vacation that she had. And I put together images you'll see on the screen of the sea that's there, and just the beautiful brick that she described. She also told me about some of the local cafes and the different buildings that had different color. The plants, of course, the Italian flag, and I pieced all of those together in my mind, and I just kind of made a panoramic view there of what she described to me from her experience. And she said there was a lot of clocks, and there's different bells that ring, and different buildings, and bicycles were very common for transportation. So those were some of the things that I just in my imagine put together.
Good. That's a great picture, Craig. Now this afternoon we have the good pleasure of having an organizer of sorts from Italy, an area of Italy called Pacino, and they've written a book called The Land of Pacino. Now we are talking with them, and they're looking at the capacity, but for particularly developing tours to this particular area in Italy. There is on the water local mountain village community of roughly 25 to 50,000 people, but it's a quaint territory in Italy that I think you'll be pleased with their descriptions and evaluations of. But for those of you, I've never gone to Italy. I'm looking forward to going. And I was caught with this picture in terms of the color, the detail, the quaintness of it, and the simplicity of the picture itself. And it's pretty unique in the fact that you have three different scenes, it looks like. But it's a unique color combination for the book, for the picture, and amazing piece there. And we're offering, of course, the opportunity. We're accepting requests for it. But this is an amazing piece, and good job, Craig, for.
Yeah, thank you. And you'll notice the size is a little unique too, where you have a painting, the original is actually 10 inches high, but 50 inches wide. So you have a very long, narrow type of painting, which will go to different areas. For example, I've seen this out on a porch where between the window and the ceiling, those particular pieces can be put up there. So
why did you decide to put this in the size frame uniquely different than any other piece? There was something that compelled you, because you were doing this according to your mother's. I mean, you received the imaging from your mother, and she inspired you to paint it, right?
She did. And on this particular painting, as I talked with her, she said, sometimes as an artist, you need to be a little bit different. And she did come up with the idea of getting something on this caliber. So I had to custom order the actual canvas from canvas.com out of Texas and had that made. And as a result, I had a few others for the same size that I made, which would maybe unveiled today or not, I'm not sure. But that gave me a little bit different type of a look with the work. And I liked it. And this painting happens to stand as my mother's favorite painting thus far out of all the artwork that I've done.
Okay. Amazing.
And prints are available, licensing is available, and many uses for this art piece for your gallery or your showroom or any products that you're working with. Now, what about this clock that you have? I'm interested in this particular time that you've
Yeah, I saw that too.
highlighted.
I just noticed that. What is it, 10 to 6?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why 10?
I wanted it early in the morning.
Oh, okay.
And I didn't want to put people in it because I just wanted the person to appreciate the different things that were there in Italy as far as the actual exhibits, and just you would just kind of span your eyes through that and find different things that you would find there. So
Yeah,
I
I think
wanted it early.
this is truly a masterpiece.
Right.
And I think this is something that people might want to even order this holiday or into 2022.
Okay.
So we've just picked a few. I picked this one because it's a great holiday gift. You can get the print as well as the book. So it's a great holiday gift. It's a great story about, Craig, go ahead and tell us about the story.
Well, again, back to my mother. She had a very exciting story for her when she was 16 years old, and she grew up in a rural community of Goodhue, Minnesota, which is about 8 miles away from Zumbrota. Zumbrota has the Goodhue County Fair hosted there, and she told me about her family. And as I obtained all this information, I put this together in a book, and I had it published through bookbaby.com. And I used the painting here that you see for the cover of the book. Very positive, family-oriented story. My mom had much success with her lamb that she had chose on the family farm and had to train and put it into the county fair, and moved on to the junior livestock show in St. Paul, Minnesota, and got to spend a few days up there exhibiting her lamb and competing there. And the tradition is in Minnesota each year after the junior livestock show, they have an auction. So in the story, you'll hear about the banker that actually purchased her lamb and the excitement that the family had. And we added in a few things about Mickey's Diner, which is in St. Paul, which is kind of an icon restaurant there. And it's an old diner where people come to get burgers and shakes. And so we have a little bit of history. And I had the honor of talking to KDHL Radio, which is also mentioned in the book because it's a big AM radio station for the farming community. And when they found out that we had this book put together, they were very excited to do that. And I honored my mom by putting a picture of her on the back of the book.
Very good.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's a terrific book, a terrific read. And for any of you who've grown up on a farm, you want this painting up on your wall.
Interesting character that you put the detail with the light of the picture. Very light driven. I mean, it's natural light though, and you know, a cloud. I mean, a very fluffy cloud day. I've never been to Minnesota, but you know, interesting palm territory land, and you put a lot of context in the back of the landscape, which is cool. So I thought that was the big wheel tractor wheel. I mean,
that's an old John Deere tractor. I didn't want it to take up too much of the painting, but I wanted to show that farming feel, and that's the way they looked. And they did not have hydraulic steering back then, so it was very hard to turn those.
I've driven a tractor before, you know, now, and you know, as a matter of fact, as you would have it, you know, that is an amazing time, agricultural time in territory with, your picture. So that's amazing. I see we have new guests coming with
So
us.
we're going to keep seeing art all day today,
Mhm.
and we're going to keep talking to Craig all day. He's our award winner
Uh-huh,
for the Brightside Empirical Review Award.
mhm.
You're watching us. Craig's website is craigborn.com, and you can purchase these prints as well as the books and learn more about him.
So we,
So
I-
today we're doing a lot of many exciting things.
we've
You're
just
watching Brightside Global
of
Trade.
trade. We're watching a particular series of art done by Mr. Craig Bourne. We see that there's Nathan and Phoebe who joining us from